Welcome to Boozy Movies, where making cocktails and watching movies is what we do.
Why didn't you tell me?
Today, may the Force be with you, because we are making 2 cocktails for Return of the Jedi.
In Return of the Jedi, our heroes brilliantly devise a plan to rescue Han Solo by getting captured one by one, proving that teamwork is all about equal opportunity failure. Meanwhile, the galaxy's most terrifying empire constructs a second Death Star, confidently betting that lightning wouldn't strike twice.
For our first drink for Return of the Jedi, we are going to be making a drink based on the home of the cute, cuddly, and kind of controversial Ewoks, Endor.
And the second cocktail we have for Return of the Jedi is based off the classic line spoken by Admiral Akbar, "It's a trap."
So many great lines and locations in this movie, it's hard to pick, but we're going to move on and make a really amazing drink for you called Endor.
Oh, I can't bear to watch.
For this cocktail, we're going to be using St. George's Terroir Gin, cinnamon syrup, ginger syrup, maple syrup, lemon juice, rhubarb bitters, saline, and cinnamon bark.
In a shaker, combine 3 ounces of terroir gin, 3/4 of an ounce lemon juice, 1/4 of an ounce cinnamon syrup, 1/2 an ounce ginger syrup, 1/2 an ounce maple syrup, 3 dashes of rhubarb bitters, and 1 dropper of saline. Add ice and shake until cold. Double strain into a chilled rocks glass with a spear. Garnish with grated cinnamon bark and tuck it in. And here it is, the Endor.
Would you like to do the honors, my
Yes.
dear? Now, we use a very specific gin for this, and that is St. George's Terroir Gin. The reason we use that is because they actually use botanicals from Mount Tam, which is just north of San Francisco. That's kind of where I believe the Skywalker Ranch is in that area. But also they filmed a lot of this movie with those big redwood trees in Northern California. So we kind of wanted to incorporate that element. We thought it'd be a fun little thing to do. And you were very insistent on incorporating another element.
Yes, I insisted on this cinnamon bark, which I found in the Asian market.
Strong am I with the Force.
Let me just move it out of the way while I try to take a sip.
And I insisted on the biggest one that we had in the bag because of the giant trees in Endor. I think that if you're not a gin drinker, this is one that you should definitely start with.
I wish I had your confidence.
We wanted sort of these fresh, earthy notes to it. A lot of trees and nature. We get the cinnamon. What else do we have? Ginger in there, right?
Ginger, maple syrup.
Maple syrup. Is there cinnamon syrup as well?
There is a little bit of
A
cinnamon
little bit of
syrup.
cinnamon syrup. So we get the cinnamon bark and the cinnamon syrup. Overall, this is a really, really just nice drink. Very easy to drink.
You're gonna need it.
But there is, like you said, there's a decent amount of alcohol. 3 ounces of gin's a solid amount for a cocktail.
Oh, how horrid!
It is. Not as much alcohol as what's in our next cocktail.
It's a trap!
But before we make It's a Trap, we are hoping to trap you for just 1 minute to ask you to shamelessly like this video if you've made it this far. Subscribe as well. We would really appreciate that. And don't forget to hit that little bell because that's going to remind you to watch our episodes when they come out, which is every week.
Every week.
But let's make the next drink, which has a lot more alcohol in it. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
May the Force be with us.
For It's a Trap, we need tequila, gin, we're using aviation here, white rum, melon liqueur, pineapple juice, lime juice, and a maraschino cherry.
In a shaker tin, combined 3/4 of an ounce of tequila, 3/4 of an ounce of gin, 3/4 of an ounce of white rum, 3/4 of an ounce of melon liqueur, 1 ounce of pineapple juice, and 3/4 ounce of lime juice. We're gonna add ice and shake for 30 seconds. Strain into a chilled Collins glass with ice, and garnish with a maraschino cherry. And here is It's a Trap.
Give it a go.
It's very not scary.
It doesn't, it looks delicious and refreshing.
It is pointless to resist.
It is like a Long Island iced tea,
Just, a galaxy far, far away.
far, far away.
We wanted to create one green, classic lightsaber. That's why we also put it in the Collins glass.
Yes.
It's dangerously tasty. Now, you can taste a little bit of the alcohol in there, but it's got some really nice flavors that kind of mask it a little bit. And so I think when you get to maybe about here, you might be like,
We surrender.
The tequila and the melon play really, really well together. So that's one thing that makes it really delicious. We used aviation gin because we thought it would be fun with all the,
there's a lot of aviation involved in Star Wars. I would just probably put it on autopilot or have R2-D2 fly my ship.
And green is for the lightsaber that Luke constructs.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody picked it up, but Luke had to make his own lightsaber, and that's when Darth was like, "Oh, you've made your lightsaber. You have completed your training."
Yeah. Her Darth Vader impressions are pretty much spot on. That is a really funny thing you bring up because I've seen Return of the Jedi like a million times, and I never really fully understood that, as soon as he like makes his own lightsaber, his training is complete. But you've seen the Clone War cartoons, and that's sort of a thing that they talk about. Right?
I have literally seen every bit of Star Wars there is out there. And I would say that if you're gonna spend your time watching anything that really helps you understand all of the little nuances in even this series and definitely in all of these new series, Clone Wars is the one to watch.
Count me in.
Speaking of watching all of the Star Wars episodes, why don't you bring that in? And I will mention that I have watched all of the Ewoks movies as well. While I think that they're fun and cuddly, I was not a fan of any of the Ewok series.
You rebel scum.
Yeah, it was interesting. Even in Return of the Jedi, I know there's been, I don't know if I would say controversy might be a little too strong of a word, but there are people who are not a huge fan of the Ewoks. I think maybe they saw that there was one little marketing, merchandising aspect to it, which, George Lucas isn't known for that at all. But also just kind of them being able to take out stormtroopers and stuff by throwing rocks, and just could they actually put up a fight the way that they do. But when I was a kid growing up, I didn't really think about that. I was like, these guys are fun and they are cute and they are cuddly. So as you can tell, we started with Return of the Jedi, which in true George Lucas fashion, we were like, you know what, let's just go ahead. We're gonna start in the middle.
Do you understand anything they're saying?
But if there's other Star Wars movies, other characters, other planets, that you think would make for interesting cocktails, we would love to hear about it.
Or even the spoof. Do you want us to do Spaceballs?
Ooh, because that was on the list. And then somebody was like, I don't really know about it. But we have two fantastic cocktails here. We think you'll really enjoy them watching Return of the Jedi. It was a fun rewatch, even though, again, they've kind of been tinkered with a little bit.
They have. So maybe tell us down below, do you like the original 3 or do you like the Disneyed up 3?
Yeah.
Your work here is finished, my friend.
Until then, we'll see you in a galaxy far, far away.
Yes,
Cheers.
I will eat you like the Almighties. Endor is here. Wait, how would Yoda say it? It's a trap.
Admiral Akbar. How do you think he wears glasses?
Oh, he doesn't. His tentacle fold it.
Yeah, that'd be tough.